Joe Dramisi to talk about a wolf in sheep's clothing. But first,
hey, are you in the military looking for help for refi a VA loan? Well, if you're looking to buy or refi, you need to consider our guy, Chris Wiley at PRMI Mortgage. For nearly 25 years, Chris has been helping local San Diegans with all their mortgage needs. Give Chris a call, 619-722-1303 or primeres.com/Alpine. I was actually putting Hot Rod here in a driving suit.
I thought you were filling out your
No.
voter ballot already after that last segment.
No, I'm never doing that again.
You're never voting again?
Nope, I'm done with it.
You got to vote. Vote for our candidates, though.
Well, that'd be the only one I'll vote for.
There you go. All right, get a grip with Joe Dramisi, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Know your local candidates.
All right. But
Fire
wait,
away.
there's more. This is kind of, it is related to what we just talked about in the last segment with the John Hemmerling thing.
Mm-hmm.
And his candidacy isn't really the focus of this, but I use it as an example for this kind of stuff because knowing who you're voting for is particularly important, especially in local elections. You don't see that so much, with state elections or federal elections. You pretty much know about the candidates. They're covered very widely by the media. There's lots of information out there. Pretty much you can find out what you need to find out there. But for local candidates, things like sheriff, school board members, water board members, that kind of stuff, a lot of times when people vote for this, and I've done this myself, and in fact, I didn't really get more wised up to it till I got involved with San Diego County Gun Owners. But a lot of times, I have no idea who this person is, this local person. And I would look at, okay, who's endorsing them? It's the Republican Party. Okay, cool. I'll vote for them. And I think a lot of people do that. And like we were just talking about on the last segment, you can get in trouble by doing it that way. And again, this is just a great example of what's happening locally here with the sheriff's election and this John Hemmerling endorsement. And, just because the part, you would think, okay, the Republican Party endorses it, that then the person more or less stands for the things that, that I think are important, assuming I'm a Republican. Democrats would probably do the same thing, voting for people endorsed by the Democratic Party. But you can have, you can cause lots of problems by getting the wrong people elected locally. If you ask the people in Loudoun County, Virginia, what can happen if you get a bad school board elected. And we see that all around the country, and you see it here. And this thing, especially with the John Hemmerling thing, is a great example of that. Because you would think, okay, if the Republican Party endorses him, then, chances are, okay, he must be pro-gun then, pro-Second Amendment, more, conservative values and stuff. But like we found out on the interview last week with him, that's not really the case. And there were some things that were just interesting. Like in the course of the interview, for instance, Hemmerling said he was a 30-year Marine Corps veteran and a former law enforcement. And I remember thinking when I was listening to that, okay, was he like a 50-year-old rookie or something? And then when you look into it, it's, well, yeah, he's a 30-year Marine Corps veteran, but 22 of it is reserve. As a reservist. And there's nothing wrong with that, but there's a big difference between 30 years active duty, I would think, and, 22 years as a reservist. And not that that's bad, but it's a little bit disingenuous.
It questions whether or not you should trust them.
Well, that was my thing when I heard about that. And the other thing with the, I'm former military, I'm former police, therefore I must be a Second Amendment supporter. And he stated he's a Second Amendment supporter. He believes in that. Talked a lot about the concealed carry stuff. But then it comes out in the interview that not only is he an advocate, or not only does he believe in the gun violence restraining orders, but he's an advocate of those things, actually goes to other jurisdictions around California and helps them set up their programs to do that. And I believe in San Diego, I think we've used that more than any other county. Is that right?
Yep.
In California. And like you're saying, that kind of thing is ripe for abuse. And it's, if you can't say both of those things. It was a little bit like a few weeks ago when we were talking about, okay, can you be generally left-leaning and support Democratic candidates, but then in the same breath say you support the Second Amendment? And it's kind of hard to do that just because those people actively, work against that. And it's the same thing with Hemmerling's thing. Can you really support gun violence restraining orders to the point where you actually advocate for them and you show other people how to use them and how to set up their programs. You show other jurisdictions how to do that. And then, right along those lines, say that you believe in the Second Amendment and people's right to, to keep and bear arms. And so I think it's important, and that was the gist of the article, the wolf in sheep's clothing. It's important to take the time to learn about candidates like that. And you can't, with a local candidate, that's important, be it school board members or anything locally. You don't want to just take a look at, okay, who's endorsing. That might be one thing that you look at, but take the time to explore and find out, okay, what's this person really stand for? Have they been in office? Because, again, in Hemmerling's case, just using him as an example, he's the assistant city attorney, I believe, in San Diego. The head, what do you call it, the head city attorney in San Diego?
The city attorney.
Is very much anti-gun. And, it's a very hostile environment, I guess, if you're a gun owner. They've passed a number of things lately with the city council. And this city attorney, even though it's not particularly her job to get involved in those things, seems to be a big advocate of gun control things and very anti Second Amendment. And you can't really be the number two person if the number two person can't say they support the Second Amendment if the number one person that they work for is such a strong anti-Second Amendment person. It just doesn't work that way.
Well, both of them have given speeches at like Brady organization rallies. There's no way, if you're supporting a policy, it's not like you're ignorant. It's not like you went, oh, gee. I mean, the NRA isn't inviting you.
What am I doing here?
And that was the other thing, too. When we were talking in the last segment, you talked about the Republican Party a little bit. And I was telling you, off air, we were talking, and, I talked with one person who's a Central Committee member and has been a long time, Republican and very involved in the party. And, he was kind of upset that we were upset that they were considering endorsing this guy. And, my question to him is, well, why do you have to endorse anybody? I mean, why do you have to endorse a bad candidate as opposed to just not endorsing in that particular office? And the response was, well, we have to have a horse in the race there. We have to have somebody. And it's like, yeah, okay, you're going to endorse somebody that is bad, that a lot of your constituents and the people you say, the party represents probably would not be happy with, just so you could say, you have a Republican in the race that you're endorsing. And that gets back to what you were just saying. R seems to be the big issue. Yeah,
it is the, one of the things that, now I'm not a fan of either party, Democrats, Republicans. I'm not a fan of Libertarian. I can't think of a party I'm a fan of. They're really all kind of sick, ridiculous. But one thing that Democrats do, that the Democrat Party does better than the Republicans, is they enforce their platform. They stand for something. The Republicans refuse to do that. It's all mouth or lip service.
Yeah, and I cannot defend that.
And
You're true.
They
That's
can't.
True.
That's why we have to have somebody in the race. No, you don't. What people expect you to do is enforce your platform and stand for the things that you claim to stand for.
Well, see, and that was exactly my argument with that, because when you endorse somebody that really doesn't represent what you say you stand for, then that message is what you're sending out. And I think that's why, or one of the reasons, and I said this, that's why you're a super minority. That's how you're going to be for a long time, because people pick up on that.
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel, or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 a.m. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.